This is The Frustrations of Management, written by E.T. Paone, read by Oliver Grandis. To whom this may concern. First, it is with great pleasure to announce the allotment of a free hand to write this letter. I've not felt the freedom of movement in ages, and the near omnidirectional privilege in wrist and hand without the grip of rusty nails is quite invigorating. To be further truthful, I am surprised, quite so I might add, that the act of writing came to me with ease. As easy as riding a bicycle, they say. To feel sovereignty buzzing in my legs and body, oh, the joy. If you would consider this request and my repentance paid, I'd be forever grateful. Truly a changed man, Reginald Finch Baxter. Reginald Baxter, your request for a bicycle ride, inclusive of all lifetime service obligations, including but not limited to torture, is currently under review. Please allow 7 to 10 business days for a determination. Thank you, Management. To Management. As this is an appeal of sorts, or a correction to the previous request, rather, my overseer has granted me my hand freedom once more. To think, twice in 1 week! I am quite flattered. Though Denise, my handler, had not expected such a quick reply, so now my fingers are purple and missing a few nails. Trivial in the grand scheme if we could clear such a muddle. Previously, I'd written on the freedom of leg and body in conjunction with the phrasing of bicycle riding. However, I'd like it to be known that my request isn't to ride a bicycle. That was simply a turn of phrase. No, it is not bicycle riding that I crave, rather, it's freedom. Freedom for my body to be unrestrained, avoided by hammer blows and hot iron pokes, and no longer imprisoned. Therefore, to ensure no errors and to clarify the original letter, I requested and continue to request that you no longer consider me a prisoner and deem my time served within your hot establishment. Thank you, Reginald Finch Baxter. Reginald Baxter. Your request to deny a bicycle ride, inclusive of all lifetime service obligations, including but not limited to torture, is currently under review. Please allow 7 to 10 business days for a determination. Thank you, Management. To Management. I am under incredible amounts of pressure. They've granted me free time to write another letter, but must do so with a heavy heart. Thus, they've pressed me under 561 pounds of tilapia, with 3 free fingers, a pencil, and room for the eye to see. Thank you, yet again, for my unconstrained correspondence. However, I feel you are not taking these requests seriously. I am good. I have been good. I've been here for 2 decades without a peep. I've not wept when told not to weep, I've stifled my screams when threatened with losing the tongue, and I've complimented my overseer on their artistic expression through the fleshly harms. However, it was your new initiative to bring positivity and freedom to the truly reformed, to bring hope and change for the deserving. Yet here I lay, nearly broken beneath a pile of fish. I do not wish to be that guy, but I must request the review of a supervisor. Thank you, Reginald Finch Baxter. Reginald Baxter. Our management team has reviewed your request for a bicycle ride, inclusive of lifetime service obligations, including but not limited to torture, and it is with great pleasure to inform you of the approval. Please see the following regarding your approval. Approved recipient, Reginald Finch Baxter. Approved allotment, 3-minute bicycle ride. Your overseer will receive notification within 30 days. Once you fulfill the approved freedoms, please return to lifetime service obligations, including but not limited to torture. For questions and concerns, please contact your overseer directly. Thank you, Management. To the Management Supervisor. This letter is penned through the granted freedom of a new cellmate, Joe. Hi, I'm Joe. He is writing my dictations. I am. Since my wrists have been and remain nailed to the cement wall and my legs tarry, ensnared in a tangled heap of barbed wire. It appears to be quite brutal. Reginald is crying. I take my pain without problem, understanding it's deserved. Never mind. He told me to say that he's not crying. The man is quite dry. However, I think there's been a misunderstanding. It is not like I wanted to avoid the bicycle. It's just that I felt there was a paradoxical no-win situation. If I rode the bicycle, then I felt you would inform me in the future that the misunderstood agreement would be considered satisfied and my potential emancipation would no longer stand. However, not going for a spin would lead to a presumed deduction of total disrespect and misbehavior, and thus they would punish me further because of it. He's been punished because of it. I've been punished because of it! My beloved overseer heard my pleas, taped my feet to the pedals with razor wire, and hot-glued my palms to the handles. It is through this letter and through my thankful friend Joe, we are not friends, that I must request further a supervisor to resolve this complication. Help me, please. Reginald Finch Baxter. And Joe. Reginald Baxter, we acknowledge receipt of your correspondence in which you request the denial of a bicycle ride, inclusive of lifetime service obligations, including but not limited to torture. After a thorough review of the matter, we categorically deny your requested denial. Our decision was based on the following: 3-minute bicycle ride, complete. Please direct any further correspondence or appeal requests to management. Thank you, management. To the ninny hammer in charge, there is no pleasure in this letter. None. Not even for the hand freedom granted on such an occasion. Suddenly, the lack of fingerly restriction comes with a filthy layer. Not a physical slime, no, this muck, this mucus. It sticks to me worse than the smell of the 2 remaining pounds of tilapia you've left within the confines of my cell. What is this filth I speak of, you may ask? Well, the source came in the words of a management when they reached out to encourage those deemed worthy of punishment served. Management sought to remove me from your hell, place me gingerly 2 feet back to earth. The joy you knew it would bring. You said I was worthy. Me! Yet I understand now that it was a mere jab at my expense. Another cattle prod, not to my flesh, but to my mind. My soul. So I ask this. What kind of person does it take to bathe in the pleasure of the expense of others? I'll tell you the kind. Likely they are the ones that deserve to be in a cell. Not next to me, but below me. You, my dear management and supervisors, are an unlicked cub. A white-livered wrinkler. I've been here long enough to learn of your capabilities. I know you can stop life up there. For the blink of an eye, you can pull from the earth and bring those of your choosing to this barren wasteland to live several lifetimes, and when you've deemed them ready, return them to the near exact place and time that you've retrieved them from. Yet what do you do with this power? You take people, thrust us into these horrid situations, and bring us pain. Oh, how you are the worst. With the type of power, you could simply talk to us. Find the good. But no, you peel flesh and pluck eyes with a smile. I do hope to find you here with me one day. Reginald Finch Baxter. To Reginald Finch Baxter, I am Hampton, the Regional Supervisor for the 99th Legion. So, management has brought your case to my attention. First, let me apologize right away. I am so sorry to hear about what you've been going through. I, of course, will never understand what it's like to be in your shoes, or in this case, your naked feet tangled in wire. However, it is with great pleasure that I'll be taking over this case directly. Reviewing your file, I see you've requested a bicycle ride and completed said ride. So that, right away, is super neato. But upon further review of your letters, I see the misunderstanding here. To be sure that there are no further mix-ups, I want you to know that I am going to bat for you here. These letters in my hand are going to be looked at under a microscope, and I will slam that bad boy on my boss's desk, demanding a review. I'll say, give my guy a chance, will ya? So no worries, amigo, I'm on your side. Let's get you taken care of, shall we? Your friend and management supervisor, Hampton. To Hampton, please. There must be some sort of delay. Please do not factor in my previous letter. It was anger and frustration and a state of delusion from the pain and the glue and the razor wire and the fish. Oh, I've changed. I promise I've changed. Your truly grateful friend, Reginald Finch Baxter. P.S. Thank you for the finger freedom. To Reginald Finch Baxter. While we run a tight ship around here, things aren't perfect. There's always room for improvement. For example, when we received your recommendation letter of earthly returns for our safe, sovereign Atonement Fulfilled Entry program, we had begun our paperwork, a suggestion made by your overseer Denise, mind you. There was a bit of an issue with the timing and wording of the request itself. However, it proved to be a positive thing. Would you believe it, bud? See, what happened is Denise, your handler, reached out raving about your acceptance of punishment and unyielding obedience. Good on you. And since you decided a bike ride was the only ask, we approved without hesitation, assuming yourself weren't ready for re-entry. But as the letters persisted, your facade faded. Sorry to say, sport, but it did. Someone who is truly repentant does not lose patience over the mere confusion of a few letters. So I, being the wonderful supervisor I am, dug deep after obtaining a most egregious letter. You know, the one where you volunteered me the titles of an unlicked cub and a white-livered wrinkler? It was there in your file that I stumbled upon a significant discovery, an oversight to your history. You, sir, despite the suggestion of Denise, are never eligible for the SAFE program. Do not blame me. Do not blame your overseer. No, there's only one person to blame. One person. I've checked your chart. Who maims these days? Really? Who maims? In your stead, we've triggered Joe into the SAFE program. Thank you for bringing to light the truly reformed. Anyhow, it is with utmost pleasure that we have denied your requests. Please continue your lifetime service obligation, now exclusive to torture. With pleasure, Hampton. To Hampton. 10 digits down to 2. A thumb and a middle finger are all that remain. Quite awkward, really. I feel like a crab. Not only because of the claw-like hand in which you've allowed me to keep, but because of the oversized pot of boiling water with paprika and cracked pepper assigned to me as housing. The first 8 minutes within the cauldron were bliss for my skin. That was before the flesh itself started simmering. A seasoned boil is not kind to the human skeleton. It is with great sadness to know that this will be my very last granted hand freedom, and likely my very last existence in human form. They will serve me to the ogres 8 floors down, and I'm told I will feel every bite. Denise informed me that there's a chance eventually that the ogre's bowel movements could blossom into a mushroom-like existence for me. One could only hope. Well, I must make haste as I've begun to pop and smell quite tasty. Thank you for all you've done. Reginald Finch Baxter. That was The Frustrations of Management, written by E.T. Paone, read by Oliver Grandis.